Welcome back into the channel. In today's tactic testing video, I'm going to be testing out a tactic that has been created by a member of the community. Today's tactic is going to be the Impenetrable 5221. This tactic was created by Fmimmortal and it was posted originally to FM Base. If you want to check out the original thread that it was posted to, there will be a link to that in the description down below. And as always, there'll be a link to this tactic in the description below also. So if you want to get involved and have a go and see how you get on with the tactic, feel free to do so. In today's video, I'm going to put this tactic through its paces with Liverpool, Brighton and Ipswich just to see how it gets on in the hands of three very different teams. Before we jump into the results and break the tactic down though, I need to have a little call to arms. I'm currently on the road to 10,000 subscribers and I would love to hit that target before we get to March and the release of FM25. So if you're enjoying the content and you want to help the channel out, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Right then, let's jump into the video and show you how this tactic will get on with Liverpool, Brighton and Ipswich. To start the results roundup off, we are going to look at the Premier League. As all three teams play in the same division, it's probably easier to look at the Premier League first and then go through each club to show you what happened in the other competitions that they played in. So let's turn our attention to the top of the Premier League and we can see that Liverpool would end up as champions using this tactic. They'd play 38, win 30, draw 3, lose 5, have 77 goal difference and 93 points, meaning they would finish 14 points clear of Manchester City, who would finish in second place. The second team that we tested would be Brighton. They would finish in 5th place, qualifying for the Champions League. Also, they would play 38, win 21, draw 8, lose 9, have a 30 goal difference and finish on 71 points. And what is crazy there is they would only finish 8 points behind second place Manchester City, but they would finish 14 points clear of Brentford, who would finish in 6th place. The third team that we tested sadly didn't turn out quite as well as we would have hoped. Ipswich would finish in 18th place and get relegated from the league. They'd play 38, they would win 8, draw 10, lose 20, have a minus 33 goal difference, and sadly for them, they would finish on 34 points, which was 5 points outside of where they needed to be to escape relegation. Looking at some of the other stats across the season in the Premier League then, Mo Salah would be the top goal scorer for all three clubs with 19 goals, but Virgil van Dijk would sneak in here with 17. There could be some set-piece mastery coming from this tactic. When we look at the average ratings, it's Van Dijk, Konate and Alisson. Interesting that all three are part of Liverpool's defensive unit, which means this tactic could be defensively sound. In terms of the assists, we had 14 for Szoboszlai, 12 for Trent, 10 man of the match awards for Virgil van Dijk and 5 for João Pedro, and Alisson would keep 24 clean sheets. Let's have a look then at the other competitions and see what happened. And we can see that Liverpool would win a domestic treble and they would be 1 game away from winning a quadruple and another game away from having a clean sweep. So we know about their Premier League campaign. They would get to the final of the Champions League and sadly for them, after extra time, the game would be 0-0. They would lose on the dreaded penalties to Inter. In terms of the FA Cup, they would get through to the final where they would beat Leeds United 4-0. In the Carabao Cup, they would add that to their collection too, beating Tottenham 3-1 in the final. If we look at the data hub to show you what happened in terms of Liverpool's numbers, so 2.63 goals per game, 13.26 shots per game, 51% shots on target ratio, 88% pass completion ratio. We look at the squad to show you what happened in terms of goals and assists. So Virgil van Dijk would end up with 33 goals from 85 appearances in all competitions. He would also end up with 7 assists, which is absolutely crazy. I've never seen him top the charts for goal scoring on a tactic test ever. Mo Salah would get 31, Szoboszlai 23, Gakpo 19, McAllister 18, Diogo Jota 16. Looking at the assists then, you have Trent with 28, Szoboszlai with 28, Robertson with 18, McAllister with 16, Gakpo with 14, Tsimikas with 14, and Curtis Jones on 13. Moving on to Brighton, then we already know that they finished 5th in the Premier League and qualified for the Champions League. In terms of the other competitions, they would get knocked out in the 4th round by Brentford in the FA Cup, and they would get knocked out in the semi-finals by another team that was tested in Liverpool. Looking at the data hub to see how their season would go in numbers, so 1.76 goals per game, 10.8 shots per game. They'd have 43% shots on target ratio and an 89% pass completion ratio. When we look at their squad to see what happened in terms of their goals and assists, top goal scorer would be João Pedro with 18. Evan Ferguson would get 16 goals and Buonanotte would get 9. In terms of the assists, that would be Ferdi Kadioglu with 10, João Pedro with 10, Estupinan and Solly March both getting 8. The final team that was tested was Ipswich. Now, we already know that they have been relegated from the Premier League. In the FA Cup, they would be knocked out in the 3rd round by Preston North End. And in the Carabao Cup, they would be knocked out in the 2nd round by Crystal Palace. We look in their data hub to see what happened across their season. Part of their downfall is the fact that they only scored 0.9 goals per game. They only had 7 shots per game. They had shots on target ratio of 43% and a pass completion ratio of 88%. Let's have a look in the squad and see what happened with the goals and the assists. So top goal scorer would be Liam Delap with 11 goals. You'd have Smodics and Hurst on 9 and 8. And in the assists, you would have Burns on 6, Chaplin and Smodics on 4, and Leif Davis on 3. So it didn't really go well for Ipswich, but we have seen Liverpool nearly get a clean sweep. We have seen Brighton do really well to finish 5th, and we have seen Ipswich get relegated. So let's have a breakdown of the tactic and show you exactly what this is. This tactic is called FMI Impenetrable 5-2-2-1, and you can see it basically could be a 3-4-2-1 or it could be a 5-3-2. It depends how you want to look at it. Basically, there are players that you can move around in this tactic to suit what you need. But basically, we're going to start off by breaking it down position by position and show you exactly what you will need. So, starting at the back, you'll have a goalkeeper set to defend. You'll have a wide centre-back set to defend. A ball-playing defender set to stopper. A wide centre-back set to defend. On the left, you'll have a wing-back set to attack. A ball-winning midfielder set to defend, a deep-line playmaker set to support, and a wing-back set to attack. You will then have 2 advanced playmakers, both of which are set to attack. And at the top of the pitch, you'll have an advanced forward set to attack. This tactic is set up with a custom Gegenpress that is custom to the original tactic creator. Its mentality is attacking. Its in possession looks like this. Its in transition looks like this. And its out of possession will look like this. So that's the tactic. We have broke it down position by position. We have seen Liverpool nearly complete a clean sweep of everything, only being 2 games away from winning all 5 trophies they participated in. Ipswich would get relegated, sadly, but Brighton would finish in 5th place in the Premier League, qualifying them for the Champions League. So all in all, I think this is a tactic that you'll want to use if you are in a top team or maybe a middle team. If you're looking at a relegation survival battle, I would not suggest using this tactic. But on the whole, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's an attacking tactic. You will get goals from players. And as you've just seen, Virgil van Dijk getting 33 goals. The back 3 in terms of the defenders are going to play big parts from corners and set pieces, I am sure. As always, if you want to get involved and have a go with this tactic, there will be a link to the tactic in the description down below. And whilst you're there, once again, if you don't mind hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel just to help me on that journey to 10k, I really would appreciate it. There'll be plenty of content coming in the run-up to the brand new game whenever that's released. If it's March, we are counting down the days either way. But for this one, I'm going to leave it there. Once again, a big thank you for watching. I'll see you on another video very soon.